Hello everybody, welcome to Israel's Church of the Living God. I'm Brother Rodney and Brother Gerald will be reading today. We'll be doing a lesson today entitled The Real Israelites Part 2. This will conclude though our series on Black history and dealing with the Israelites. We will be getting more in depth with the Israelites coming this summer in June 26th. So we want everybody to come out and join us for our Black History program, Black History in June or in the summer. Okay, so the name of the lesson again is The Real Israelites Part 2. And we're going to start off at Isaiah the 58th chapter in verse 1. Isaiah 58 and 1. Isaiah 58 and 1. Go ahead and read it.
Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice with the trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
See, then that's what's wrong with our people right now. First of all, they don't understand who they are. They don't understand who their God is. Neither do they understand their transgressions and their iniquities. And they don't understand, our people don't understand. This is the reason why we are going through all the things that we are going through as a people, because of who we are. Let's go to Ezekiel, the second chapter, Ezekiel 2. Ezekiel 2, and we're going to pick it up at verse 3. Ezekiel 2 and 3. Go ahead and read it.
And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation.
See, our people have always been rebellious against God. Even still today, our people are rebellious against God. Go ahead and read.
To a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed it against me, even until this very day.
See, even until this very day, our people are still transgressing against the Lord. You know, we ain't no Jews. We're not no Israelites. We don't have to keep no law. Everything that the Lord is telling us about us, we say that ain't us, and we ain't got to do this, and we ain't got to do that. Turn the elbow and the arm to the Lord, like, you know, I ain't got to do this. Stiffen the neck and everything, right? Go ahead and read. I mean, you look at the Bible, you're looking at a mirror of us. You're looking at us. Yeah. Go ahead and read.
For they are imputed children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God.
Go ahead.
And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are rebellious house.
They are rebellious house. Go ahead.
Yet shall know there have been a prophet among them.
See, they don't know. He telling Ezekiel, look, you go and tell them what I say, and they don't know that the prophet has been among them. Whether they hear this or whether they forbear. Go ahead and read.
And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words.
Go ahead.
Though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions.
Now look at what he said. Briars and thorns, and you dwelling among scorpions. Because our people are hard people, aren't we? Amen. You know, mean, mugging and everything, you know. Just mean. Go ahead and read.
Be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks.
See, don't be afraid of their words, or don't be dismayed at their looks. Because Israel, they'll mean mug you in a minute. Go ahead and read.
Though they be a rebellious house, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. For they are most rebellious.
They are what?
Most rebellious.
Most rebellious. Now, if the Lord calling you most rebellious, then you ought to start checking out this people then that's most rebellious. Because you see a people that's most rebellious, then you got Israel. Let's see what else the Lord had written about them. Let's go to Hosea the 4th chapter. Hosea 4. And when you really start reading this Bible and start understanding, you really see who the children of Israel are. It's undeniable. Hosea 4, and we're going to pick up in verse 6. Hosea 4 and 6. Now look what the Lord had Hosea to write about him. Go ahead, verse 6.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You know, our people, we got a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge, don't we? Who can clap and sing and shout better than us? Nobody. But he said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Go ahead and read.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Go ahead.
That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
Ooh. He said, you have forgotten the law, my law, so I'm going to forget your children. And he put it on us too, didn't he? We're paying for something that our forefathers did 3,000 years ago. 4,000 years ago, we're still paying for it. That's how we know that this is God that we're dealing with. Because we can look at the condition that our people are, read it in the Bible, and know that this is who we are. Because don't nobody else fit this but us. Let's go now. So he called them, he said, my people, he said, they are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Let's go to Isaiah the 43rd chapter, Isaiah 43. And we're going to pick it up at verse 27. Isaiah 43 and 27. Go ahead and read it.
Thy first father hath sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me.
Look, the fathers have sinned and the teachers have transgressed against the Lord. Now, how are people supposed to learn? How are people supposed to learn? The fathers transgressed and the teachers. Go ahead and read. And that's what we got now, ain't it?
Yep.
The teachers transgressing, aren't they? Telling the people, look, you ain't got to keep no law. Jesus died on Good Friday and rose Easter Sunday morning. When you get baptized in the name of the Father, the name of the Son, the name of the Holy Ghost. When every time you see a baptized, it's baptized in the name of the Lord, ain't it? Go ahead and read.
Therefore, I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse.
Oh, that's what happened to Jacob, the children of Israel. He has given us to the curse. Read that one more time.
Therefore, I have profaned the prince of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproaches.
Oh, he has given Israel or Jacob to the curses. And that's what we are under right now, aren't we? We are under the curses. Let's go look at some of these curses. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to try not to make this lesson too long. Deuteronomy 28 and 1. 28 and 1. Everybody got it?
Amen.
Go ahead and read it.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Now, we can't even imagine that. You know, you might say, well, you read that last Sabbath. Yeah, read it again, because this is our problem right here. This is our problem. It's commandments of the Lord. And we're going to show you in this lesson. You turn back to the Lord by keeping his laws and his commandments, he will bless you. Go ahead and read.
And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now look, he said they're gonna overtake you. We've been overtaken with curses now, though, haven't we?
Yeah.
Go ahead and read.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
Uh-huh.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
Skip down to verse 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Skip down to verse 25. Because if you keep my commandments, I'm going to bless you. If you don't, I'm going to curse you. Verse 25, what does it say?
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Now I'm just giving you, we're just going back over some of the things that we read last Sabbath. He said you're going to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And we saw last lesson that the children of Israel, or these people that call the Negro, they was removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, weren't they? We saw on the African continent, on the European continent, on the Asian continent, and the American continent, haven't we? But we're the only ones that's been removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And then, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but that one that called himself a Jew, when was he removed into all the kingdoms of the earth? Right. When? And then it's going to take at least 1,000 years, at least 1,000 years, for a people to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. At least 1,000 years. And we know, and we're going to show you coming up in our Black History program. I don't know why I keep plugging it. But anyway, we're going to show you in our Black History program coming up that the ones that called the Arabs, the Israelites, they had us in slavery for 1,400 years. That's enough time for people to be removed into all the kings of the earth. Hey, see, people don't think. People don't read the Bible and look and see what the Bible says about Israel. They just go off of what they think and everything. They don't read the book, because the book gonna tell the whole story. What verse you stop at?
Verse 26.
Go ahead and read it.
And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed.
Go ahead.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt be groped at noonday, as the blind grope in darkness. Now
he said, thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind grope in darkness. This people right here don't have no direction. And we don't have no direction, do we? I mean, Martin Luther King tried to come, and Malcolm X, and all of these men tried to come, and Frederick Douglass tried to give us some type of direction, right? But we still don't have no direction, do we? Go ahead and read.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy way. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore.
Now look at this people, always oppressed, aren't we? Ever since we hit the shores of America, our people have been, even before that. Look at who's oppressed in this country. Look at who's oppressed. He said you're going to be oppressed evermore. That's going to reach all the way down to our generation and beyond us, right? He said you're going to be oppressed evermore. And our people are the ones that's oppressed, aren't we? You finished that?
And no man shall save thee.
And no man. Who saved us? Nobody. Ain't nobody saved us, have they? We still got people racist. We've been here for 400 years, right? People still racist against us. Think President Obama is one of us. They don't show him no respect. Because they think he's one of us. How many presidents you know that men would go and talk to them the way that they talk to President Obama? You don't see that. You don't see that with none presidents, do you? But because of us, they think he one of us, he don't get no respect.
That's right.
And we ain't gonna even talk about us. We know we don't get no respect, do we?
Well,
All the other nations come over here, get free food, get free house and everything. But you Israelites, y'all ain't getting nothing. Reparations, what? We still waiting on that 40 acres and the mule, aren't we? Always oppressed. We've always been oppressed. And we're not going to get out of this oppression until the Lord returns and deliver us from this oppression. Just like Moses came and delivered the children of Israel in Egypt out of their depression, didn't he? Let's go now. Skip down to verse 64. Skip down to verse 64. Go ahead and read it.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the
Now
other.
that's big right there, ain't it? He said he's going to scatter you from one end of the earth to the other. This is a big thing that the Lord has done to this people. Go ahead and read. And nobody in the world is not paying attention. The world don't have a clue what's going on. You know why? Just like the brother always say, they don't read the book. They don't read the book. And then when you start reading it, they get mad at you.
right.
Go ahead and read.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Now, what people, you know this is us. We serve everybody else's God, don't we? But our own. Go ahead and read.
And among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest.
Go ahead.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and a falling of eyes, and a sorrow of mind.
He said, you're not going to find no ease. He said, among these nations shall thou find no ease. And we have found, they haven't taken their foot off our necks yet, have they? We out of slavery and everything. We still captives, but we out of slavery and everything. They still got trying to put their foot in our neck, don't they?
Right.
Let's go now, because it's getting a little warm up in here. Getting a little warm up in here. Let's go now. Let's go to Isaiah, the first chapter. Because you know, the Lord done this to us for a reason. He done this to us to turn us back to Him. But our people won't listen, though. Our people won't listen. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah, the first chapter. Isaiah 1, and we're going to pick it up at verse 2. Isaiah 1 and 2. This is a hard-headed, stiff-necked people. Verse 2. Go ahead and read.
Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me.
And they have did what?
Rebelled against me.
Rebelled against Him. Now, that's something to rebel against the true and living God, ain't it? Go ahead and read.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know.
Go ahead.
My people doth not consider.
Ooh. They don't know. They don't consider nothing. Why are we going through all these things that our people have been going through? Why do we have to go through slavery? Why do we get beat and hung? The last hired, the first fired. Why all these things? He have set us on fire round about, and we haven't even laid it to heart.
Right.
He have done all these things. I mean, just think about it for a minute. Everybody else prospers, but we don't. And I'm talking about as a people.
Right.
I mean, you got people coming across the border, come over here, set up stores and communities and everything. Why haven't our people prospered like that? Why haven't our people prospered like that? I mean, you got to be asking yourself a question. What's wrong with us? What did we do? He said, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know. My people don't even consider what's going on around them. and what's going on in our history. The only thing we hear about is, and don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with our history as far as Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, ain't nothing wrong with that. But why do we have to go through the things that we have to go through? Nobody is asking that question. Everybody talking about marching and, we're going to boycott this and boycott that, and it ain't work, did it? That should tell you something right there, man. We're not doing something right here. 400 years we've been here, we still don't have our rights. Something is wrong. Go ahead and read.
Verse 4. All sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
A people that's laden with iniquity. Look around. Look at our people. Who doing all the, well, I ain't going to say who doing all the crime, because, you got other people doing crime too. But who always getting caught? We are. We the ones always getting caught. That's the Lord. I'm going to get you. Go ahead and do it. Yeah, I'm going to get you. Police ride right up on you and got you, don't they? Go ahead and read, though.
A seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
Now you know who the Holy One of Israel is? That's Jesus. We have provoked him to anger. But our people are always shouting and all that stuff to Jesus, aren't we? He probably looking at him like, what you shouting like that for? Go ahead and read.
They are gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revoke more and more.
He said, the more I whoop on you, the more you revoke. The worse you get. Go ahead, you done went out backwards. Go ahead and read.
The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint.
Man, that is really, that's hard to hear, ain't it? Talking about, us. That's hard to hear, ain't it? But this is what's wrong with this people, though. It's what's wrong with this people when you read it in the Bible. And the Lord had one of the prophets, God telling the prophet to write this, something is wrong, don't you? Problem is that our people, for the most part, haven't figured out this yet and who we are. Go ahead and read.
From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and profile sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
See, this people is still in the same condition that they were in during the time that Isaiah wrote this. Because they have not been healed. Have our people been healed? We haven't been healed. Verse 7, go ahead.
Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire.
Go ahead.
Your land, strangers devour it in your presence.
He said, look, we still think, oh man, we still want to, half of us, I'm talking about black people now, want to go with the Edomite Jew. The other half want to go with who? Ishmael. Call themselves Muslims and all this stuff. Don't get me wrong now. There ain't got nothing wrong with, I don't have no problem with the Muslims. That's what you want to practice, that's what you want. But we as a people shouldn't be following no Muslims. Because that's one of our worst captors right there. The Ishmaelites, Islam. That's one of our worst captors right there. 1,400 years they had us in slavery. And we're going to turn around and follow them? He said, your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers bowing in your presence. And it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. Now you see that? He called them strangers. So we know the children of Israel ain't there, don't we? Right. Strangers in the land. Let me show you something about this land real quick. Let's go to Psalm 105. Psalm 105. Because that's who's in the land right now. Strangers. They fighting over the land. Been fighting over it for 1,900 years. And they still haven't figured out that when the Lord returns, neither one of y'all gonna have it. And this is why right here. Psalm 105. Psalm 105. And we're going to pick it up at verse 5. Psalm 105 and 5. Go ahead and read it.
Remember his marvelous works that he hath done, his wonders, and the judgments of his mouth. O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen.
See, we are his chosen people. What are we chosen to do? Teach the rest of the nations. Right. But how can we teach the rest of the nations when our people don't even know who they are?
Right.
Don't want to hear the word of God. They want to hear that stuff that make their ears, tickle their ears and everything that sound good. That's what our people want to hear. Go ahead and read. They don't want to hear the truth. Go ahead and read, though.
He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. He hath remembered his covenant forever. He hath remembered his covenant forever. See, the Lord, he don't break covenants. Men do. God don't break it. That's why we know that the Sabbath is still in place. Because God don't break. We know the commandment is still in place. Because God don't break his covenant. We know that the circumcision is still in place because God don't break his covenants. And we know he'll break his covenant. You go all the way back to Genesis. He said, look, I'm going to put my bow in the sky, and that's going to remind me not to flood the earth no more. Has the earth flooded yet? No. So we know that's an everlasting covenant. And it's still, you go outside, see a good rain, you see that bow in the sky. No matter what country you're in, you can see a bow in the sky, don't you? That's how we know we are dealing with the true and living God, our God. That's right. Go ahead and read. What verse you at? Verse 8. The word which he commanded to a
read that
thousand
verse
generations.
8. Read that again. He
hath remembered his covenant forever. The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations.
Now, what is this covenant? Go ahead, keep reading.
Which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath with Isaac.
Go ahead.
And confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law.
He confirmed the same to Jacob for what?
A law.
Go ahead.
And to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
And to Israel for everlasting covenant. Now what is this covenant that he said? Go ahead.
Saying, unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance.
I'm going to give you, Israel, the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. This is an everlasting covenant. So if the children of Israel have been removed and scattered to all the kingdoms, then that means one day they got to come back then, don't they? Because we already read strangers devour the land now, aren't they? So if this is an everlasting covenant that land belongs to the children of Israel, then the children of Israel at some point has to come back then, don't they? Let's go to Luke the 19th chapter, Luke 19. Luke 19. Because we know that Jesus told us over here that Jerusalem's going to be destroyed, didn't he? Luke 19, and we're going to pick it up at verse 41. Luke 19 and 41. Everybody got it? Amen. Go ahead and read it.
And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it.
Now this Jesus now. He weeping over the city. What did he say?
Saying, if thou hast known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy people,
thy peace.
They are thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes.
He said, look, if y'all had known the peace that y'all got right now, this is hidden from your eyes. He talking to the children of Israel right here. This is hidden. Y'all have peace now, but the day that's going to come, look at what's going to come. Go ahead, because he ain't weeping for nothing, is he? Jesus already know what's going to happen. He said, look, y'all can just like now. We got peace now. But when the Lord get ready to return, he's going to tear this earth up. Everybody going to be running and hollering for the rocks to fall on us and hide us from the face of the Lamb, and he that sitteth upon the throne. But we, the people, you don't understand the peace that you got right now. So when the Lord returns, like I said, he's going to tear this earth, he's going to shake this earth off his axles. Does everybody understand this?
Yeah.
He's coming to destroy this earth. People think, well, I'm going to get raptured up before all the destruction comes. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. You're going to be right here. Go ahead and read. I mean, had one big preach on TV. The church, the Lord cannot come except he raptured. Man, and he got thousands of members. Don't you know he's going to be responsible for all of them people that he have told that? Because they did, well, anyway, keep reading. Keep reading.
For the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee around, and keep thee on every side.
Now, that's what happened in 70 AD, ain't it? You understand? The Romans came and they cast a trench around Jerusalem. And nobody could get in, nobody could get out. Right? Then here come the Romans with the battering rams coming at the children of Israel. They're putting up a good fight. But then once the Romans got all the way in there, they started killing themselves. The Israelites did. We could have read about that. But the Israelites, they started killing themselves. But go ahead, because, you know, Jesus tells you, y'all don't know the peace that y'all got right now. Your enemy going to come, he going to cast a trench about thee, about Jerusalem. And you going to be fenced in on every side. Verse 44, go ahead.
And shall lay thee even with the ground.
Ooh, wait a minute, you see what he just said? And shall lay thee even with the ground. So Jerusalem was going to be torn down then, wasn't it? He said, I'm going to lay thee even with the ground. That's how we know about that old Wailing Wall. They keep talking about bumping their heads up against that wall. Hey, man, that ain't no part of the temple. Then, too, you don't see nobody bumping their head up and down on a wall in the Bible, do you? Like that wall is going to save you. No, God is going to save you. That's who's going to save you. The Lord is going to save you. Not no wall. See, people try to hold things, objects sacred and all this type of... The Lord is one that's going to save you. Not no object.
Right.
Go ahead and read. Read that verse again. What verse you at?
Verse 44. And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee.
Go ahead.
And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another.
You see that? They shall not leave in thee one stone upon another. Finish that.
Because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation.
Now, so we're looking at Jerusalem being destroyed, right? Now look at what Jesus said. We read this last time, but we're going to read it one more time. Luke 21 and 20. Luke 21 and 20. Go ahead and read it.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is not.
So we talking about 70 AD again, right? But Jesus had already told them, you understand, y'all don't know the peace y'all got. He just continuing the story right here, isn't he? Go ahead and read it.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains. And let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
Go ahead.
And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
Go ahead.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And wrath upon the children of Israel.
That's who this wrath is coming upon. The Lord is up to hill with them now. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to destroy y'all, just like I had written in the prophet. I already warned y'all. Y'all didn't listen. Y'all didn't do what I told y'all to do. So now I'm going to come and destroy the whole city with the people in it. And I'm going to tell you something. That's just a preview of what's going to happen when the Lord returns. If you ain't on his side, you might get destroyed. You might get destroyed. And that goes for the children of Israel too. A lot of people say, I'm a Hebrew, I'm an Israelite. Yeah, well, if you ain't doing what thus say the Lord, that ain't going to mean nothing. That's right. You ain't in the right place at the right time. You being an Israelite, a Hebrew, that ain't going to mean nothing. You know, because you got the brothers keep talking about, yeah, the Lord going to destroy America. Yeah, well, if you ain't in the right place at the right time, he going to destroy you too. That's why I don't understand how can they keep saying this? You know, the Lord gonna destroy all the other nations. He gonna get America too. Where you going? If you don't know what thus say the Lord concerning this time period, then you in trouble. Because it's going to be a free-for-all, and that's all you're going to see from me is butt, soles, and elbows if the Lord delivers me. I'm headed toward the wilderness. Amen. If you, my family, want to come, fine. Because if you don't, that's all you're going to see is the back of me. Hope to see you at the other side. Amen. Because this gonna be the worst time in man's entire history, and I ain't trying to get caught up in it. Go ahead and read. What verse we at?
Verse 24.
I might grab my wife hand, but everybody else, y'all ain't running for. Verse 24. Go ahead and read.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
See, they're going to be led away captive into all nations. What people, I'll keep reiterating this, what people were led away captive into all nations? Ding, 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 ding. Right. I mean, this right here, this one verse, this one scripture right here, a light should go off in people's head. Hey, man. Who are these people that's been led away captive in all nations? These people over here calling themselves Jews, but when were they led away captive in all nations? Somebody should be asking this. You understand, when we on social media and Facebook, anybody ever ask this? No. Nobody ever asked this, do they? I mean, you got any of your Roman Christians that's kicking against the Sabbath and all this, they ever asked this question? Who is these people that was led away captive in the whole nations? And why haven't we seen these people that's called themselves Jews, why haven't we seen them led away here into captivity? Nobody ever asked that question, do they? That's because Israel is blind in both eyes and deaf in both ears. That's why. And they don't want to read this book. What verse we at?
The end of 24. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So now we got the children of Israel led away captive into all nations then, don't we? Well, who are these people that's calling themselves Jews then? Who are these people that call themselves Israelis, which is an Israelite? You understand? Who are these people? Somebody ought to be asking this question. Who are these people? Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Deuteronomy 28. Because we know that Deuteronomy 28 talk about the curses. Now look at this right here. Deuteronomy 28. And we don't want to get too deep into this because I don't want to give everything today what we're going to be doing on the 26th of June. Black History in the summer. I think we might name it that too. Deuteronomy 28 and 43. Deuteronomy 28 and 43. It's kind of unheard of that you're doing here Black History in the summertime, ain't it? So we want everybody to come on out with your nice clothes on and your summer clothes on and come on out and we're going to go through this Black History and we're going to fellowship afterwards. Amen. We want everybody to come on out. That's why we're doing it in the summer, although we could have done it this year. Pretty nice this year, ain't it? Of February. But that's all right. It's going to be even nicer in the summer. Deuteronomy 28 and 43. Now look at one of the things that the Lord said was going to happen to the children of Israel. Because we know that the children of Israel are under curse, right? Amen. Jacob has been given up unto the curses, hasn't he? Verse 43. Go ahead and read that.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Now just take a look around. We've been here for 400 years, right? All the other people that come here from other nations, they prosper and set up communities, don't they? When I say set up community, I'm talking about businesses in these communities. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about people just coming to live together and because they're the same color, same ethnicity. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that come from other countries, come here to this nation. We've been here for 400 years. They come and set up businesses, not only in their own communities, but in our communities. You understand? Why does everybody else get to come from another country and come to set up businesses in our communities? But when it comes to us trying to set up good businesses, banking and all that stuff, oh no, we can't give y'all no money.
Right.
Oh no, y'all can't set up this business and that business. Look, the hair care industry, I remember in the 80s when it started booming. Right? Who got it now? Black people had it when it first started booming, right? You had a few Koreans here, some Edomites there, but for the most part, black people had our hair care products, didn't we? Who got it now? The Koreans. The Koreans got it. But that's in the scriptures too. Go ahead and read though.
Verse 44.
He said, the stranger that within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Now look at all the other nations that come over here and prosper, and look at us. We still the low man on the totem pole, aren't we? Go ahead and read.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
We can't loan nobody no money, can we? Because we do, man, I might give you 10, but I want my 10 back.
Right.
We can't, as a people though, we can't loan nobody. We don't own no banks and loaning institutions, do we? If we do, somebody else fronting us. You understand? Somebody else fronting us the money. And he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. Go ahead.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Who owned the loaning institutions? Who started the Federal Reserve? Edomite Jews. We talking about the largest loaning institution in the history of the world, which is the Federal Reserve, is owned by who? The Edomites. The one that called themselves Jews. Who owned HBO? Edomite Jews.
Right.
Who owned Walt Disney? Edomite Jews. Smith and Bonner and all these loaning institutions, who own them? Don't sound like the Jew of the Bible, do it? Let me show you, I'm going to show you what one of their practices was when they couldn't set up their businesses. I'm going to show you what one of their practices was. What verse you at?
Verse 45.
Go ahead and read it.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he command thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Ooh, see, this thing gonna follow us forever. Gonna follow our people forever. You understand? Oh, well, that happened 1,000 years ago, and it's still happening today too, ain't it? Still happening today. Let me show you something. Let's go to, we're going to read something right here. We are going to the last 2 million years. We're going to the last 2, because he said the stranger going to loan to you, Israel, but you're not going to be able to loan to the stranger, right? Start reading right here to here. Then stop. Go ahead.
Rome's reaction was harsh and brutal. Jerusalem fell to the Roman legions in AD 70, and the city's temple.
See, because the Lord told him, he said, look, they're going to cast a trench about you, and they're going to destroy you and keep you in on every side, right? And then he said, they're going to lay you flat. And this is what happened in 70 AD. Go ahead and read.
The remnants of the rebel forces held out at Masada until AD 73, when they took their own lives rather than fall into Roman hands.
So that was the Israelites. They took their own lives rather than for the Romans to come in there and kill them. Go ahead and read.
The Jewish spirit was not yet crushed.
Now wait a minute now. So now, because the Lord said, look, when they gonna come in there, and they gonna lead you away captive in all nations, didn't he? Now look at this now. He said the Jewish spirit was not crushed. Now wait a minute. That don't line up with the Bible then, do it? Because the Jewish spirit was crushed in 70 AD, wasn't it? So he said the Jewish spirit was not crushed. Go ahead. What year was this? Go ahead and read.
The Jews rose again in AD 132.
Wait a minute. That don't line up with the Bible because the book never said nothing about Israel rising again, did it? Especially not no 135, no 3rd century, did it? Something wrong with this. Read that over.
The Jewish spirit was not yet crushed. The Jews rose again in AD 132/5.
That's Simon Bar Kokhba. Simon Bar Kokhba. He was an Edomite Jew. He led a revolt against the Romans around 132 AD, and then the Romans came there and smacked them in 135. That was it. But they led a revolt against the Romans. These are Edomite Jews, though. Look at what it's going to say. Go ahead.
Rome's reaction was even more severe. Many Jews are forcibly deported, and their Jews, and their lands laid waste. Thus began the great diaspora of the Jews.
Hold on. Thus began. Now they're talking about 135, but we know that the Lord said they're going to be led away captive of all nations. That happened in 70 AD. Now it's talking about that now in 135 AD began a great diaspora of the Jews. Now look at where they went. Read that over.
Thus began the great diaspora of the Jews. Millions of them settled in what were to become
Stop. Settled? They settled? Now the Lord said they're going to be led away captive in all nations, didn't he? Now those are real Jews, the one that was led away captive in all nations, wasn't it? These people right here settled. Where did they settle at?
Christian countries of Europe.
Christian countries of Europe. They just went to Europe right there. You see that? They settled in Europe. They didn't get led away captive there. They settled there. Just like when they come here to America, what they do, went to Ellis Island and they settled here, right?